solving two-step equations. Here's the thing, you guys. This is the basis of everything we're going to do from now until probably the end of chapter 9. Okay, so you have to know how to do this to get through everything else. If you're lost here, it's really going to be a struggle for you the next two chapters, especially the next few sections for sure. We did this last year. We did. No, not for the most part. It's not hard if you are paying attention and take good notes. I mean, we did this last year, so there's no surprises really. All right, so today we are going to see two types of problems. Okay, we're going to see some that look like this, and we're going to see some that look like this. Tell me the difference between the two. Hunter. One's dividing and one's multiplying. So we're going to see both of these types today. Okay, probably more type 1 than type 2. These are more common, but you still need to know how to do both of them. Okay. Yes. We learned that already. We learned that. All right, I'm going to go to the next slide. Some of you are writing both these things down. That's fine, but I'm going to go to the next slide because I'm going to show you some actual examples. Okay. First example I'm going to show you is this. And I don't even write anything down because I'm going to talk you through it first. I'm going to talk about this one. And in the past, I've explained equations like a balance. I kind of talked about this last year. You have to have balance. Both sides need to be balanced. You can't do one thing. Yesterday, I kind of talked about it a little bit. You can't do one thing unless you do it to the other side. So I'm actually going to draw this one out in a picture so you can see what's going to happen. Okay? That way you can kind of understand what's going to happen in every other problem. So here is my balance. You guys know what a balance looks like? Like this. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so here's my balance. It's not going to be great. Just bear with me. Okay? Okay, those are... It's funny, I talked about in the other class too. They always ask me, did Mr. Brunsma teach us this? And I always say yes. Oh my gosh, every single day. Even today, before anybody said anything, I said, yes, Mr. Brunsma taught you this. Like, we'll clear that up right away. Balance. All right. So, here's how this is going to work. That equal sign is like the middle of your balance. That equal sign is the part, that's keeping everything in line. So this is where my equal sign is. Then this side is 3w plus 3, because this side has to equal 9 on the other side. I'm using that one up there. Now let me show you in a picture before anything, okay? So what does this really look like? Well, this looks 3w's, looks like this. And then 3 of something, I'm just going to make like 3 tiles, okay? On this side, I'm going to have 9 tiles. Nope. Nope. Look at, because here's W. This is what this looks like. I have 3 W's. What? Okay, so first of all, if I want my W's by themselves over here, what do I got to do here? I got to get rid of them. Okay? So there they go. Bing, bing, bing. Got rid of them. Pretend the W's still there. Okay? Then, to keep it in balance, this is what I just did. To keep it in balance, what do I got to do? Take 3 from the other side, right? I have to take 3 from the other side. So here they go. See you later. Okay, so now this looks like this. How can I figure out how can I figure out what 1W equals now? Divide. So if I have 3 over here and 6 over here, I know 1W is equal to 2, because here would be considered W, here's W, here's W. Does that make sense to everybody? So, the overall message, you got to do the same thing from one side, then do the other. You have to do that, your balance is not going to stay equal. Yep. You have to show your work every single problem, but you don't have to draw balance like this. Okay? Because that would be too much. Yes, I have an easier way. Oh my gosh, look who you're talking to. All right, let's do the one up here. 3p minus 10 equals 8. Yep, this one you got to write down. No, Carver, I'm going to make you draw every single one on a balance. Even if it's like 3p plus 2 equals 91, you have to draw 91 tiles on that side. Okay. So, you have to show work. You cannot just say, I know the answer. That's not okay. Because when we get in the next few sections, You won't be able to do that anymore. You have to show some work, so get used to it right now. First thing I'm going to do, on my balance, the first thing I did was I dealt with this number, right? Okay, so step number 1. You're going to do your adding or subtracting. That's step 1. So, I'm going to do minus 10 or plus 10 on both sides. The reason I do plus 10 is because I need to cancel this out. Does that make sense to everybody? I have to cancel out first. But I got to do the other side because that's just like my balance. Remember, I erased 3. I had to redo it from that side, so then I have to also add 10 to this side. Always stay away from your variable. Yep, that's going to be the last step. So then I end up with this, 3p equals 18. My second step would be either divide or multiply. And this is where I deal with my variable. So then I'm going to divide by 3. I'm going to divide by 3. Guess what p is? 6. Third step. Third and last step. Make sure your answer is right. Just p equals 6. So, how do I know? I take 6, I put it in for p. That would be 3 times 6 is 18. 18 minus 10, guess what? 8. Okay? Let's do another one of these. Okay, let's do another one of these. Let's do another one. I'm going to find mine. Alright, let's do this one. So let's do this. 5y minus 3 equals negative 23. First, adding and subtracting. Second, multiplying or dividing. Third, making sure your answer's right. Also, make sure you have the right sign. If you have negatives, your sign's got to be correct. All right, somebody I've not heard from. Tell me my first step, Larissa. Yep, both sides. Is this negative 26 then? Negative 20. Now, tell me my next step. Not Patty. I said somebody else. Tell me my next step. Hunter. And y is what? Negative 4. Good job. Negative 4. Okay. Any other questions? Any questions on the first type? Let's look at the second now. Let's look at the second. Here's the good news. You follow the same rules as we did before. Okay? So let's look at the first one. I think it's 4, or r divided by 4 minus 23 equals 5. So make sure you have one of these written in your notebook because you're going to want an example. Maybe there was yesterday, right? There was one of them yesterday. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add 23 to both sides. And I have this left. R divided by 4 equals 23. Now before I do anything, what do I have to do to cancel out that 4? Yes, thank you. Nope. Okay, time out. If I have something divided by 4, I have to get rid of this because if I'm dividing here, what do I have to do the opposite? I have to multiply to get rid of this now. Now it cancels out. But, gotta do it on the other side. So R equals 112. Okay? What? Now you get it now? Now you see it? There was one on the homework and I missed it. I did not show you an example of one like this. 34. There was one a little bit like this. All right, quickly. I want to show you one thing though on the next one, okay? So the next one is y divided by 3 plus 4 equals 22. I'm going to minus 4, like normal, and I end up with this. Y divided by 3 equals 18. Now, do you know how many 7th graders told me that y equals 6? Why? Okay, now time out. Why did they tell me y equals 6? What did they do? Or you know what they did? They divided 18 divided by 3. Or you know what they did? They saw 18 and 3 and they said, oh, I know 18 and 3. Well, it's got to be 6. Is 6 divided by 3 18, people? Okay, so that's why it's important to check your work. To do this, I'm going to multiply by 3 to cancel out. I'm going to multiply by 3 to cancel out 54. Y equals 54. Okay? Questions on that? Okay, now let me show you a third type. Now, the third type is not complicated. The third type just has one extra step. This is the third type. Okay? Now, before we do anything, just look at it. It says, whoa, whoa, whoa. Before we do anything, like talk out loud, because some of us have problems doing that, just look at it. It has 2x plus x minus 27 equals 3, Hunter. What would I do first for this? Okay? Yes. Think back to what we did last chapter. Put together things you can put together, because then we'll guess what it looks like. Does that not look like the first kind we talked about? Yeah. So what happened is just an extra step beforehand. You're going to have those sometimes. You're going to have some that have extra steps. Combine things that can be combined. Okay? Now to solve this, I'm going to add 27 to both sides. I'm going to divide by 3. Guess what my answer is? 10. Show me the work, though. You don't get to do that in your homework. So, all right, so let's try another one of those. Here's one of these right here. Put this one in your notebook. Fine. Okay, now before you try to solve it, let's talk about it. I have negative 9c, and I have 3c. Negative 9 plus 3. Negative what? Negative 6, right? Negative 9. That's why, remember, we talked about the terms and how important it is to include the sign in front. It's still important. Just don't be one of those people that say, well, I'm going to do my test and forget about it and move on, because a lot of things in math build off each other. You have to remember things from last chapters. That's just the way it is. So then it looks like this. 4 minus 6c equals 58. What am I going to do first? Carver? Am I going to minus 4 or am I going to plus 4? What's the sign in front of my 4? It's a positive 4, so I'm going to subtract. I'm just joking. I'm just joshing you. I'm just going to make sure you knew what you were talking about. So I'm going to minus 4. The reason why I'm minusing is because if I don't have a sign in front, we know it's a positive. Okay, so then I'm going to minus 4. What are you looking at me so funny for? Yeah. I was just trying to make sure that you knew what you were talking about. I was trying to stump the stumper. Then you turn out this. And then divide by negative 6. Divide by negative 6. C equals negative 9. You might want one in your notebook that has decimals. I have to show you some with decimals and fractions, because this will show up in your homework. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put together things that can be put together. So if I have this and this, what's that add up to be? 0.6m. So 0.6m minus 2 equals 3.4. So, then what? Very good. Now, it's not going to be 3.6. Make sure you line them up correctly. It's going to be 5.4 equals 0.6m. Actually, it's going to turn out to be very similar to this one right here. Is it going to be 0.9? I think it's just 0.9. So it'll be 5.4 divided by 0.6. Move my decimal, just 9. Do you know which one goes in the house? If I'm going to divide by 0.6, divide by 0.6, top one goes in the house. Okay? Questions on decimals? Just 9. Just 9. Okay, I need to show you with some fractions quick. That's one I didn't include in here, and I have to show you some fractions. That's life. All right, so let's do this one. Fraction 1/4 p minus 6 equals -8. I think that's right. Yep. No. Turn the keep the fraction. No decimals. Okay. Can we do this one together? Okay. Let's do this one together. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add 6. That is just a simple rule of thumb. Every single one, you add or subtract first. Plus 6. So then I have 1/4 p equals -2. This is where it gets a little tricky. Not so much, though, because you did this yesterday. Divide by 1/4, right? I'm going to divide by 1/4. So it's -2/1 divided by 1/4. It's really -2/1 times 4/1, which is -8/1. No, it's really not, because you've done that last part, geez, yesterday and a few days before that, so it shouldn't be too out of your brains. You want to try one by yourself with a fraction? Let's do one by yourself with a fraction. Ooh. We'll do this one. -1/2 r minus 12 equals -27. Guys got it done? Okay, somebody I haven't heard from that's not going to blurt the answer out. Brian, first step. Yep. So I have -1/2 r equals what? -15, right? -15. Don't let these guys give you a hard time. They can hardly solve them either. Okay, somebody else. Now what am I going to do? Divide. Right? Divide. So it looks like this. Should be 30. Should be 30. R equals 30, sure. Sure. It is simple. I didn't say it was going to be hard.